Hello, I just want to thank you for joining us today for our April Tech Talk. This month we have Sara Colburn-Alsop joining us and just kind of sharing her experience of things she's used AI-wise or learned about at recent conferences. Sounds like she has oodles of fun new ways to use AI features. So thanks for joining us today and let you take over.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming, everybody. And if beyond this 30-minute session, you have questions or comments or more, you found really cool resources beyond what we share today, please feel free to reach out to me. I started this journey actually with the Digital Fluency Initiative workshop in the summer. I'm sure you've seen the email from Sarah Summers, Ashley, and Andrew also being involved in it. When I started out, I had no idea. I said I wanted to be a part of the workshop, but I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew I wanted to learn more in terms of digital fluency. And so I started out with a totally different game plan topic. And I really kind of just fell into learning about AI. And so I switched gears, which is nice about that workshop. You can do that. And decided I really wanted to focus my attention on AI. So the title that you see up here, AI, a game changer in the classroom and beyond, actually came from me generating that in Chat GPT, which I'll show you. I'll show you some ways you can use it, and that's one of them. I think my prompt was make it a jazzy, upbeat title, and I did not like the titles it gave me. So that's one of the things you're going to realize with AI. It's always important to review, tighten the way you're prompting, and keep tailoring until you get what you want. So between the summer workshop and then I attended 2 conferences, IFLTA, which is the Indiana Foreign Language Teachers Association Conference. And I attended a couple AI sessions there and got some ideas. And then I went to Central States in Minneapolis, and that conference was amazing. Bigger conference, entire Midwest, and I think I attended 4 or 5 AI sessions, and each one I got a lot out of. So that's right. Oh, and the image in the middle is generated by Bing Images. And I'm going to show you how to work with that. There's several different ones, but that's the one I used. And I created that using a prompt, something about a blonde, blue-eyed woman in a workshop, in a computer workshop. And that's what it gave me. So why use AI? A lot of people are just like, oh my God, it's a horrible thing. And it can be, but it can also be a fantastic tool. And so I guess I would ask everyone to think about, do we question the validity of using a calculator, a dictionary, our smartphone? No, but we need to be aware and be careful how we're utilizing it. But AI can be really great in reducing your workload and giving you assistance in creative activities for the classroom. And I'm going to walk us through and give you some ideas. And I also want to hear ideas you have regarding that. I generated this image. I can't remember what my exact prompt was, but something about, looking at AI as a resource, and it generated that image. So I'll take us there so you can see it's a pretty cool site in terms of images that you can design, and you can, again, tailor it until you get the exact design you are looking for. Right now in the chat box, can you just share out, every single one of you, how you're using AI in your life and or profession thus far? And then if you are using it, what so far are your favorite AI resources and why? So I'll give us a couple minutes there. And Ashley, if you want to, once they start generating, after a couple minutes, you can tell me what they are and I'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
I also generated this. This is a Bing image. Again, kind of tailoring it towards the presentation. I'm looking at chat. Yep, definitely. Oh, hey, Sarah, I didn't know you were going to be here. Yep, perfect. 100%. Yes, all of these ideas are fantastic. Super. Yes, we're gonna touch on all of these different things, and I would say for me too, Chat GPT is my number one that I'm resourcing currently. But there's a lot more that I'm excited to share with you too, and maybe you know of them, but let's see. Yep, cool, awesome. All those are really good ideas. And if you, I didn't read them out loud, but if you want to go ahead and read what other people said, go for it. Oops, it's not letting me move forward. Why is that? There it goes. Okay, so potential uses of AI for educators. So you've hit on a lot of them, but communication, drafting email responses. Sometimes I write something and then I just want to make sure everything, like it helps me with the editing process. So it can be that simple. Sometimes I'm really tired and I just got a message from a student and I need to be sympathetic. Can I put this message into Chat GPT and please make it more sympathetic? So using it like that. Sarah, you mentioned rewriting a text or helping them understand that. And before we actually started formally, Ashley and I were talking about rewriting a text for a different proficiency level. So for example, maybe you have an article you're supposed to read, you want your students to read, but it's pretty highfalutin language, and you can put that link into Diffit or into, there's lots of different AI formats, and say, can you change that proficiency level to a 8th grade level, to a 1st grade level, whatever, and it will do that for you. And so for me, for somebody who's not very good at math, just say I have an equation and I have to solve it, I might put that equation into Chat GPT and say, explain how to do this like a 5th grade level. So it would write it then, so somebody like me, that's not my forte, could do it better. Chat box conversations. I have not worked with this yet, but they mentioned it in several of the AI sessions I attended. Could be particularly useful in terms of language. I'm thinking from my point of view, like where they ask Chat GPT questions and they respond. All of them, and Ashley and I were talking about this too, all of them have so far really been great in terms of the language. So obviously I do most everything in Spanish, and I have found the sources to be excellent in terms of their Spanish. No, it's not old school, Google Translator. It's like really well done. So I've used that a lot. Feedback on student work, personalized learning for students, student recommendations. Now I star these because, again, it's on you to decide how much of this should it be my work and how much should it be AI. So I star that because I'm not sure I would feel completely comfortable writing a whole, having Chat GPT write the whole recommendation for me, but I would write a recommendation and then put it into Chat GPT to make sure it's edited correctly, maybe touch on certain things. So I would use it in that way. I've used it a ton for lesson planning, ideas in the classroom, helping me. And I think, Andrew, you mentioned writing a syllabus. I took my syllabus, old standby syllabus that I've had for the 100 level courses, and I put the whole thing in Chat GPT and I said, please write this so it's readable and going to be of interest to a 1st year college student. And it came back with some good ideas. You definitely have to review what Chat GPT gives you. There's still some things that I was very uncomfortable with. One of the things they use, one of the words I remember in the syllabus was they use the word powwow. I'm like, no, that's cultural appropriation, GPT. You should give them feedback on that stuff because it keeps rewriting. So you have to be on it, even if you're using it. Like I said, brainstorming activities, generating quizzes, it runs the gamut, vocabulary lists, and then assessment, all kinds of things. I've used it a lot. I've leaned heavily on it for making rubrics for my new prep. and that's worked out fantastically. Generating test questions, quizzes. The new system that we bought for Franklin College is great for generating test questions. Let's see what else. Feedback on work. Also using, if you want to write some questions and then actually put them into Kahoot, there's an AI resource, at least one, probably many, that do that. Tips that I would just mention, and these are pretty obvious, but just to be forthright with you, never share student names, identification, none of that stuff, because it all goes into the system, and that's, we don't want that. You don't want that out there. Again, review your output. Never just accept it, because you want to be careful. It's still a system that's giving you something, and you are ultimately the author of that material. So you want to be careful and review everything. I don't think there's ever been a time where I've just been like, yep, this is good. I definitely always either have to keep prompting it or take it and wordsmith out what I want. The more specific you are with the prompt, the better results you'll get. And it's definitely normal that you prompt it multiple times to get it to where you want it to be. I already talked a little bit about the ethical implications. If you're going to be using it and encouraging your student to do it, the general lines of, if it feels like plagiarism, it probably is. So being aware of where that line is. Using one command prompt at a time will give you the best results. And then something really important, you shouldn't have to pay for almost any of these. Most of them are currently free. Some of them may have a limit of times you can use them per month, that sort of thing. But so far, all the ones I'm using are free, which is great. So here we are in the resources. I think Ashley will be sending this out to you. So when you click on these things, you'll see Almanac will pull up. There's a tutorial if you are wanting to learn more before you actually use them. I'm not going to go through every single one of these right now, but the ones in red are the ones that I use the most. And these are the ones that I'm going to give you some demonstrations with. So we've talked about ChatGPT. It is great for a number of different things. Bard and Bing AI are similar formats, but ChatGPT is the one I use the most. I am using tons with Diffit. Diffit is fantastic. You put in, say you want an article. So I taught about old age. This is really, really specific because it's a film class and the topic was ageism in part. So I had old age in Mexico, like tercera edad in Mexico. So I looked to find articles. I found an article. And then what you can do is put the URL of the article in Diffit, and then Diffit will create the document you want. So if you want it to be the original, you want it shorter, you want to change the language level, it does all those things. It will give you vocabulary that's generated from the article you gave it. It'll give you opportunities to generate like multiple selection type questions based on the reading. So I've used it a ton, and I've used it in both English and Spanish, and both have been fantastic. I have not done as much with illuminates AI. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I put it on there because I know a lot of people in the sessions I talked about used it. I just haven't gotten around to it. And then that Eternal AI, slightly creepy, but pretty cool. It literally, and I'll take us there so you can see what it is. You literally can chat with famous historical figures and ask them questions. And then they respond to you based on their information. So, and it works in English, Spanish, French, any language, it will translate into that. I have used Magic School some, and I felt like maybe the high school level use this a lot more than I would. I think Diffit does a lot of the same things, but I have to be honest, I haven't looked at Magic School quite as much. I love the images Bing. Oh my goodness, it is fantastic in so many ways, and we'll explore that. I'll give you some ideas on how to use that and how it works. And then Question Well, I haven't used as much, but this is a good one if you are trying to you want to generate questions and then export them to Kahoot, to Canvas, to Quizlet. Very simple. In terms of steps, I just haven't done it that much yet, but I will, and I think it will be it could be useful in all of the different in all the different disciplines. Quizzes is the one that Franklin College just bought, and this is a great one to create quizzes. Same concept as Diffit in terms of you can do a YouTube link, you can do a document, a URL, whatever, and then it'll generate questions, quiz questions, and you can decide, you know, I like this one, I want to add more questions. Really a good one too. So I'm going to stop here. Ashley, do we have some questions or comments?
We just had the one of what was the one Franklin College purchased, and the response is in the chat. That was
I
quizzes.
see that. Okay, and I'll stop here. Does anyone, because that was a lot of talking fast, does anyone have specific questions before we actually look at examples? You can chat them or even speak out if you want. Nothing appearing on the scene. Okay, I'm going to stop this share and I'm going to go to Chat GPT. Let me see, did I pull Chat GPT up already? I don't know if I did. Hang on. It's not letting me out. Okay, hang on.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I don't know if you can hear me. I hate to interrupt you, but I put a question in chat.
What was it?
I just did it. I tried to get in as fast as I could. When you were going through all those different forms of AI, did you happen to mention, you said earlier about rubrics, and that's something I need a lot of help with.
Okay.
I've always
We'll
had
do
a
that on
problem
ChatGPT.
formatting them. And I was wondering if any of those would help with rubrics.
Absolutely. There are multiples. ChatGPT is one out. So do you have, can you tell me, do you have a rubric on, or an idea on hand, or no, for a rubric? Or do you just want me to show you one I've done?
Yeah, that'd be great. If you don't
Okay.
mind.
So here, I'll show you. This is one I had them make. Can you see the screen, the ChatGPT screen?
Yes.
Okay, good deal. So I had, let's see, let me see what my prompt was here. Hang on. Let's go with this one.
You should be able to scroll up.
Scroll up there. That's, I want to show you this. So my students in the upper level class, it's a film class. This is my new one. And so I said, can you create a rubric for an essay based on these criteria? So I gave them the criteria, and they said, as they always do, certainly, I can create a rubric. So where are my criteria though? Do you know, Ashley, where I put, what, can we see it from?
Can you click on it? Maybe there's a drop down, or try that little edit pencil when you hover over it. No, maybe not.
Anyway, I gave it criteria. So for example, I had its thesis statement, content, evidence, and I had you give it prompts. So whatever it is that your objectives, what you want the students to get out of it, you can put them in there, and then it will pop up with a possibility for you. So this one, it had thesis, and you can obviously change anything you want if you're not happy with it. Let me show you. Here's another one, a rubric for an oral exam that I used. Maybe, where is it? I don't see it. Let me see. I'll come up with a different one. There it is. Okay, it just took a minute to pop up. Okay, so with this one, I said, okay, so I said, can you put, here's where I went. Sorry, I'm going, is this the first one it gave me? So I can't remember, it's not giving me my prompts, but you can prompt it with what you wanted. So I told it what I wanted in terms of the oral exam, you know, pronunciation, vocab, fluidity, grammar, content, and then it gave me these. And I asked it, can you put it in a chart? So you just keep prompting it until you get what you want. Does that help in terms of the rubric? I'm sorry, that didn't come out as
now I don't remember. I thought it was Chat GPT. I actually did sort of what you said before. I put in my prompts, and then I asked it to make a chart, And that's where it sort of went south. I don't know what the problem was. It just wasn't, it didn't make it didn't make a chart. I don't know why.
So one thing you can do is make your, if it makes a chart onto the thing, you can then mimic it and then copy and paste if it's
Yeah.
not working out for you that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can, ChatGPT, I can throw in, like right now, I'm going to throw in, can you make an activity for students to discuss food in Spanish at the elementary level? And it'll come back with, there might be a lot of people on it right now. That's the one thing. ChatGPT is great. You shouldn't pay for it, but sometimes when it's busy, it takes a minute.
Oh,
So here
okay.
we go. So this is an activity. Sure, here's an elementary activity. Vamos a hablar de comida. So they give you the objective and then the materials, what you would need, and then the instructions.
Mhm.
And then like, say I'm like, yeah, that's a great activity. Can you make a shorter activity for a 10-minute time span? Food bingo. So they give you different ideas. So I honestly, you can put in anything. I was telling Ashley, and we're short on time, but I have to tell you this story so you understand how you can use it. It's bizarre. My mom's brother passed away this past summer, and none of us were close to him. He was a different person. Even his own kids were not very close to him. His wife, who calls herself the second wife, we don't really know why she insists on doing that, but does, was too distraught to actually create the obit and put my mom in charge of it. And my mom was like, I'm super uncomfortable beyond the basic information of, where he's born, what he did for a living, etc. I don't want to offend anybody, like the kids, his second wife, all this different stuff. So I said, Mom, do you know what AI is? And she said, no. And I said, give that obit to me. And
Oh,
I'm gonna put it into ChatGPT, and I'm gonna say the one thing where he did shine and definitely deserves accolades was he was a political science professor, and he did great work. He was published, he was accomplished. So
wow.
I put in the chat prompt, really highlight his success as a political science professor. And that was like the piece that you needed. Like, you needed something to say good. And then I said, beyond this, I said, play with this. Here's this, play with this. And then you decide what you want to keep, how you want to finish it. Cause I'm not going to finish it for you. I gave you that part. And so that's just an example, a random example of what you can do with AI in terms of ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Show
that's
you.
cool.
Yeah, no, it's endless. It's endless in terms of the way you can utilize it.
Yeah,
I
I
want to,
have done, like I put in the chat, I've done syllabi pretty well with it, and I've done assignments. It was just the rubric was throwing me off, but I'm gonna do your suggestions and just keep at it and see what happens.
that sounds like a good plan. You bet. So the other one I want to show you, I thought I had pulled up, but I don't see it. So I'm going to pull it up now. Is Diffit. Hey, does anyone have an article off the top of their head that they want to throw in the chat, and I will show you how Diffit works? It can be anything, any article, like something for your discipline, and I'll throw it into Diffit. Where's Diffit? Oh, there it is. This one.
See if I can find something.
Yes, could be a research article. Anything that you like, Jamie, for psychology, throw me something because I'll do everything in Spanish. I don't want you to think it's limitless in any language, in any discipline.
I'll try to find something real quick. Let's see.
Yeah. If nothing, I can, but I wanted to definitely share out in case somebody wanted to do it so I can show you.
Nothing's going fast, of course.
No, don't worry.
No, I'm trying to find something too.
If you can, I can certainly share what I've done. Oh, here's one.
I
Okay,
put
cool.
one in.
Okay, I got one. This is great.
Okay.
I'll take yours, Rebecca.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So this is Diffit. And see, you can put in an article, you can put in a YouTube clip. So I'm gonna go, so, okay, let me see. Wait, this should work. Hang on. Let me see what it gives me. So it's generating. See what it gives us.
Diffit. You gotta remember that.
Okay, yes, and all of these are in it, and I marked mine in red. Okay, so here's the article. So you get to, so this is the original.
Mhm.
Say you want to edit it. Let's see here. You can edit it. Let's see how. Show sources, hide sources. Okay. So down here, here's the adapted passage. And then they summarize. And then they have the vocab words, some of the words that maybe would stand out. You can add words. So like if there's another, they pick these, but if there's something else that you're like, oh, you just would write whatever it is. Let's just say manifest and then highlight whatever. And then you can say generate. So it'll generate more vocab for you.
Oh, cool.
It gives you the multiple choice. So here they give you, I don't know how many questions, 3. Say you want add questions. So you want to add maybe 2 more to that. They'll generate it from that article. And you have to be careful because sometimes I've had where it repeats these, but so it gave you 2 more. You can do short answer. And I like to take my short answers or open-ended prompts and copy them and put them in a PowerPoint after we've gone through an article. And there, so here it's right now it's in 5th grade. I forgot that's what it was. So the article's in 5th grade. So if you want it to be 11th grade and beyond, it'll edit it. And it should now be the 11th grade and beyond version. If you want to dumb it down, regenerate it, this will be the 11th and beyond. And it'll do it in any language. So obviously my language is Spanish. So I'll, if you want to adapt it so it's a shorter version of the article, it'll do that. You just want a summary, it'll do that. All the above. So this by far is one of my faves.
Yeah, I love that. Now, can you go just by the title of the article? Do you need any other information? Because I know I kind of gave you the link. Does it have to be a link? It might be a dumb question.
Definitely a link is more helpful. Let me see if
Okay.
it can do it by any, let me go back to the start. So literally anything. So if you want to just ask a topic, you can do that. And
Wow. Okay,
URL,
good.
any text, or if you have an excerpt that you want to put in, you can cut and paste it. So by far one of the best.
Yeah,
and then
I like that.
quickly, so the other 2 quickly I want to show you. We're out of time and I don't want to hold you guys here. I wanted to show you the Eternal thing. It's really interesting. Eternal AI. Okay, this I could see using in all kinds of different disciplines. And when you're wanting your students to learn about somebody. So throw me a person, somebody famous you want me to, can be anyone. Should we say Freud or Jung or wait, who do you want?
Sure, Freud. Let's see what they say.
Okay, Freud.
That might be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Freud. What do we want to ask about him?
The father.
Here he comes. We have a Leah right now, but we want Freud. Why are you there?
But like, why was he controversial or something like that?
Yeah, but I want it. Usually it just pulls up your.
Hmm.
Okay, here we go. So we want.
What is the meaning of life? Yeah, let's check that out.
You're in the pop art movement.
There's Andy
Discuss
Warhol.
Art, culture,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
every day. Ask me anything.
Okay, Andy, why were you controversial? I can't see because that's things over it. Controversial. I don't know if I said that right. Wait.
Oh.
Did it let me do it?
Said you hit your max free.
Oh, shoot. I hit my max. Well, you guys haven't hit your max. So
Yeah.
you could play around with that one. But it's really cool. So I've done like Dali. He'll speak in Spanish. You know, you have somebody in the French world you want to, you know, so they'll do all the languages and it's all accurate. It's really interesting. So there's that one. That's the Eternal. Then I wanted to show you real quick and then I'll let you guys go. The Being Images. Now let me see if they'll let me do this because it's possible I've reached my limit because I've been working on this.
Just a side trick, if you run out of like free limits or whatever,
Yeah.
sometimes you can go into like incognito mode and
Oh, incognito mode. Let's see.
it doesn't recognize your
Students. I'm going to put in there diverse
identity.
students. Let's see if it works. Viewing the eclipse on a college campus. Oh, it's making me join. I don't need to join. Let me see, sign in there. Here it goes. So I can show you too what I've done recently. I've done that recently, but I just was like, I'll pick one that's. So it's creating it. Taking its own sweet time.
And this is called Images Create.
Yeah, this is Being Images. So if you go back
Okay.
to my slides, which I think Ashley's happy to send out, right? Ashley?
Yes, and the link is currently in the chat, but then I'll put it where the recording is posted also.
Still creating. So for the sake of time, here I did yesterday, I said, create a scene in
wow.
a Mexican market. So it gives you multiple options to look at them.
That's
So, you know,
neat.
these are all slightly different. So you could see how it'd be great for a talking point starting. Here's the one it just did. Students on a campus viewing the eclipse. And even that could even look like our campus a little bit there.
Yeah, yeah.
I've done, let's see what else. This was another one I generated images on campus. The one that I put in for my thank you goodbye said, here it is. You can see my prompt. It said, show a white professional woman with short pixie blonde hair waving with blue eyes, thanking people for being here. And I chose this one.
You
So
look like Mika Brzezinski, if you know who that is.
none of those really look like me, but that's okay. It was just to show you
That's
for
cute.
fun. So let me go back to the actual thing, and I'm pretty much done because I know you all are busy and we're beyond the 11:30 clock time. Here it is, me thanking you. But I am happy to answer more questions. I am always interested in learning more about the ones that you utilize and how they are a good resource. So if you have those that I didn't put up here that you want to shoot me, I'd love that too. So thank you very much for being here. And I didn't leave a lot of room. If people don't have to go, I don't have to go anywhere, but I know people are busy. So if anybody has more questions and wants to stay, that's fine. Otherwise, feel free to catch me or email me, whatever. And I'm super into talking about it. So thank you guys for coming. Appreciate you.
And thanks for joining
Thanks,
us.
Sara. Great resources. I gotta run, but thanks so much.
I hear you. Go run. Yes.
Okay.
And play around. It's a process. There's a lot. Don't get overwhelmed. Just a
Yeah.
few things at a time.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. That was very short time, but very helpful.
Awesome. I'm so glad.